Greek tragedy Agamemnon by Aeschylus is our topic of discussion today. At the beginning, let us know about the character. It is a great tragedy by Aeschylus, uh, a Greek tragedy writer. Aeschylus, he was born in 525 BC and he died in 456 BC. He was son of an Athenian nobleman. Now the tragedy is about King Agamemnon, the king of Mycenae. He went to Troy to fight against the Trojans because his brother's wife Helene, she was abducted by the Prince Paris, the son of King Priam of Troy. So all the Greek kings, along with their soldiers and their ships, went to siege against Troy, and the fight continued for long 10 years. And after that, the Trojans were defeated and destroyed. So Agamemnon went there, and he was the first among the kings of Greece, the great king Agamemnon. And when he returned back to his own country, then a tragical tragical incident occurred there, and his wife, Clytemnestra, she was the main character in the story. And the characters of the drama Agamemnon, the name of the drama is Agamemnon, and the writer of the drama is Aeschylus. The main characters of the drama are Clytemnestra, and she was the wife of King Agamemnon, and Agamemnon himself, Cassandra, a daughter of King Priam and a slave girl to Agamemnon after he came back from Troy to his own country. He carried, he took this lady with him, and she accompanied him to his kingdom. And another character is Aegisthus, and he was a cousin of Agamemnon and a paramour of Clytemnestra. And there is a character, the chorus, and also two minor characters, Wasman and Bhagirath. At the beginning, in the first scene, we find that it is a scene of the royal palace of Mycenae or Argos on a winter night in the last year of the Trojan War. Uh, the the fall of Troy has not yet been declared. Now, a watchman on the palace roof sees a beacon fire which lights in at Troy, and the signal that Troy has fallen. It is a signal that Troy has fallen, and shouts the news to Clytemnestra. Enter now the chorus. The chorus now enters the stage. Old men forming the royal council. Some old men of Argos, they are the chorus. Clytemnestra is seen for a moment bustling about with preparations for sacrifices of thanksgiving, because her husband Agamemnon has won the war. So now, when at length she is at leisure, she has done her all the rituals, they question her. That is the chorus. They question her and receive a detailed and brilliant description of the saying of the beacons between Argos and Troy. That is, some people is there at Troy. If he lights a flame, then the other person at a distance he conveys it to the other person. Then it is conveyed to other person in this way. It is a relay message, a relay of a message, and then it comes to Argos, and then revive a detailed and brilliant description of the main beacons between Argos and Troy, by which the news has been telegraphed. That is in the serial. There are serial people, and they convey the message to the kingdom of Agamemnon. That is Argos and Mycenae. They fall into reflections on the scene. They discuss on the scene which began the war and the misery that it has caused. That is the scene of abduction of Helen from Sparta, from Menelaus' house. It was Helen was abducted by Paris, Prince Paris, and Paris was, and she was brought to the kingdom of Troy, and it was a great scene. During the signing of their own, singing of their oath, that is at this time, the chorus, they are singing a long ode on the stage, and it indicates some months are supposed to elapse. So that means it indicates the lapse of a period of time. And in the meanwhile, Agamemnon started from Troy. He has reached home. A herald now enters to announce the arrival of Agamemnon. A herald declares that Agamemnon has arrived to his own kingdom. Also, the dispersal of the Greek fleet by a storm. By the Greek fleet, the ships were driving to the kingdom of Agamemnon by a storm. Their further reflections are interrupted by the coming of Agamemnon himself. The process was going to say something more, but at this time, Agamemnon himself enters the stage, attended by a few guards. There are a number of guards there, and followed by Cassandra. Cassandra is a daughter to King Priam, and after the destruction of Troy, Cassandra was taken by Agamemnon as a slave girl, and she accompanied him to his kingdom, who derives behind him in a carriage. They were brought to the stage in a carriage. After a long dialogue with Clytemnestra, there is a long dialogue with Clytemnestra. The king is induced to enter the palace in the most conspicuously in various way, walking upon tapestries laid down to carpet the ground. Well, Clytemnestra, she tempted Agamemnon to walk upon the tapestries, red tapestry, uh, into the house, and it was a trap. Agamemnon he did not agree at the beginning, but Clytemnestra tried in every possible way to make him walk upon the tapestry and to commit a wrong. It was a prerogative of the gods. They could walk upon the tapestries, but human beings, should not. And if they did, then it would be the gods will be angry. Would be angry. So Agamemnon he refused to walk upon the tapestries, but Clytemnestra induced him to do that. Finally, he walked upon the tapestry. Cassandra remains stonily silent, and Clytemnestra. Cassandra remained silent. She did not tell anything. Then Clytemnestra, getting the answer from her, Clytemnestra asked Cassandra a number of questions, but she did not reply to those questions. Leaves the stage angrily. Then Clytemnestra then went away from there in village, and Cassandra now breaks out into a prophetic frenzy. Cassandra was a soothsayer, and she could forecast future, what is going to happen in future. So she broke out in frenzy, uh, in which she told the people there, rather him said, the horrors of the feast and banquet. She refers to an event that happened between two brothers. That is the father of Agamemnon. His name was Atreus, and his brother was Atreus' brother was Thyestes, and it happened between them. A gruesome thing happened between them, and as a host, Atreus entertained his brother Thyestes to a dinner, and in that dinner he was served with the flesh of his own son, killed before, and cooked. His flesh was cooked, and it was served to be paid by Thyestes, and he committed. He ate it, his own son's flesh, and it was a gruesome sin committed by Atreus, Agamemnon's father. So Cassandra told this story to the audience there, that is the chorus, in which she tells, or rather hints at the horrors of the Thespian banquet, what I can say. And then goes on to warm the chorus, who utterly failed to understand the why. At last, tearing of her prophetic insignia, Cassandra, she goes into the palace after telling the chorus something details about what is going to happen in near future. She went inside, and a moment later, the king's death in cries are heard. That is, there is a cry that Agamemnon is being killed, and he was making a very scream of cruelty being done to her. Done to her. The chorus hurriedly debate what is best to do. At this time, chorus, the people could understand, elderly people could understand something gruesome is being done there, and what to do. When the door of the palace is flung open, the door is opened then, and Clytemnestra is seen standing over the bodies of Agamemnon and Cassandra. That means Agamemnon has been killed in the meantime, and also Cassandra has been killed in the meantime, and all these two killings has been done by Clytemnestra, wife of Agamemnon. She proclaims and exalts in her deed. She elaborates that she has done the right thing, declaring it to be an act of justice, and she for the murder of Iphigenia. Iphigenia, the daughter of Clytemnestra and her husband, their eldest daughter, she was sacrificed when the ships were going to the to Troy, and at some place at Aulis, the ships were held because there was no wind. So Iphigenia was sacrificed, and then the ships could go to Troy. So Clytemnestra was very angry, and she wanted to punish her husband for the killing of her daughter, and she uh, tells the audience that she had done this thing. She had killed uh, Agamemnon because of this injustice she did to her daughter, and by killing him, he has done a justice. And further that it is the curse of the house, not she, who is really responsible. And it happened here, and this gruesome killing, because of some curse. It was and it was a curse, and she had punished her husband for this injustice, which was done to her by killing her own daughter. The debate between her and the chorus is ended. There was a long debate between her and the chorus by the appearance of Aegisthus. And Aegisthus is Agamemnon's cousin. That means his uncle was a Theseus, and his youngest son was Aegisthus. And um, at the time of the feast, at the time of the dinner, where his Theseus was served with the flesh of his dead son, then Aegisthus was a small child. He was at a distant place. Then later on, he came and had a good relationship with Clytemnestra, and he assisted Clytemnestra in her killing of her husband by recalling the wrong done to his father. Thyestes by Atreus. Atreus had committed some wrong against his father, that is, Aegisthus' father Thyestes, and so by killing Agamemnon, it was the justice was prevailed. Justice prevailed. He and the chorus quarrel, but the quarrel disagree with him, with Aegisthus, and they thinks that Aegisthus will be punished for that, and are about to come to blows, and we are going to fight against each other when Clytemnestra stops them. Clytemnestra comes out and stops them and takes Aegisthus within, and Aegisthus follows Clytemnestra within the house. And then the story ends here, and it is the story of the drama, the tragedy. Agamemnon, named Agamemnon. So we come to the conclusion of this topic, and here we find the story is a tragic story. Agamemnon somehow or other committed a wrong done to his eldest daughter Iphigenia at the time of going to Troy to fight against Trojan people. And Clytemnestra was first told that Iphigenia is required in order to marry her to the great hero Achilles, but this was not true. But later on, at a ground, at a field at Aulis, Agamemnon was somehow or other he did not agree to sacrifice his daughter, but Iphigenia herself, she volunteered that she would sacrifice herself for the cause of the country. and then the sacrifice was done there. And Clytemnestra was very angry against her husband because she thought that her husband uh, committed a wrong, committed a sin by sacrificing their beloved daughter, Iphigenia. So she murdered her husband at the first attempt, and she took made arrangement for this murder. But we come across other causes also. There are other causes also, because she had a good relationship, or just like a husband-wife relationship between herself and her uh, paramour, that is Aegisthus. So, as there was something wrong done to Aegisthus and her family, the family of the Thyestes, and it was also a revenge against that of that wrong done by Agamemnon's mother, Atreus. And so we come to the end of the story in this way. It is the end of this story. Thank you.